All right, how's everybody doing? Hopefully good. Hopefully this remote teaching is working for you. I'm a little stressed, but as long as you are doing your work and learning, that's all that matters. All right, so today is, let's see, Wednesday? Wednesday. So here's my thought. You're probably finishing up metals, nonmetals, and metalloids, and you're moving on to this part of the periodic table. So the sub today should give you this small periodic table. I want you to glue it in your journal this way. Yes, it has to be this way. Why? Because I'm going to give you some notes. All right, remember you can always pause this video and catch up if you need to, or slow it down. Today I want to talk to you about the periodic table. I know on Tuesday, maybe part of today, you learned that this section over here of the periodic table are called the metals, right? These are the things that are shiny and good conductors of electricity and malleable, meaning I can flatten them or make jewelry out of them. I can pull them into wires, meaning ductile. On the opposite side, so those are on the left, lots of them. Over on the right are those things that are called non-metals. And these are, a lot of them are gases like oxygen and neon and argon and fluorine and chlorine. Those are all gases. They are not good conductors. You can't hammer them into a sheet. They're not malleable. They're not ductile. They're not shiny. They're not. These are the not things called non-metals. And then you have these things along this dark staircase. They're called those metalloids. Some of them are like metals and some of them are like non-metals. So they kind of stuck them here in the middle right there and called them metalloids. We learned that. There's other things about the periodic table we need to learn. Well, the guy who put this together, his name is Mendeleev, Mendeleev, if you want to look him up and learn a little bit more about him. So smart. Like how he figured this out is amazing. He looked at every element and he looked at how each element kind of reacted and behaved, and he put them in groups. And he numbered these groups. So on your periodic table, I want you to notice up here at the top of every column, it's a group. So group 1, that means that all these elements right here are in group 1. This is group 2. We have groups 3 through 12. These are called the transition metals. We're really not going to pay any attention to these because we're going to talk about chemistry and we're going to talk about reactivity and why things do what they do. Okay? And we're going to look at these elements down here. Well, this is group 13 and group 14. If it doesn't have the word group above it on your periodic table that you can read well, I want you to go over it kind of like mine. Mine doesn't show up very well. And I want you to know that there are 18 groups. Now, groups go up and down in a column. Please write what I'm writing. Elements in the same group have similar characteristics. Okay? That means you're going to see that on a test. Similar characteristics. They act or behave alike or the same way. So think about yourself. You belong in a group, right? Maybe you're a group of football players or a group of cheerleaders or a group of volleyball players or a group of artists or a group of actors or a group of musicians. But you kind of hang around people that have the same characteristics as you do. Well, Mendeleev saw that some of these elements were behaving chemically the same way. So he decided he would put them all in the same group. So on a test, if they give you hydrogen and they say, which element has similar characteristics as hydrogen? All you would have to do is look somewhere in this column for your answer. That's how easy that question is going to be. So everything in a group is going to act the same way. Okay. Are we good? That's what a group is. Now, you also, let's see. Let's put that there are 18 groups. The next thing I want you to understand about periodic table is we have these things called periods. Now, if you look over here on the side, you have a number 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. These are called periods. You might even see it called a row or rows. Periods go across or horizontal. This way. This is how I remember. When you write a sentence, you write like this, and at the end, you put a period. That's how I remember that periods go across. Periods tell us how many, I'm going to call them energy levels, or rings there are around the nucleus. So in period 1, if this is the nucleus, right, our protons and neutrons, period 1 is going to have 1 ring. Period 2, remember we have our protons and our neutrons. You're going to have those 2 electrons, and then there's going to be a second ring of electrons. Period 3, one, 2, 3. Period 4, protons plus neutrons, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. See ya? They just keep getting bigger. So what that tells us is everything in this period. So really, we're just talking about hydrogen and helium. They're in period 1. They're only going to have 1 ring, right? Period 2, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, right, are all going to have 2 rings. So period 1 is going to have hydrogen and helium. Period 2 is going to have lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon, right? And you can figure the rest out. What I should probably do here is also let's do this for Group 1. Let's put, up here, let's put group 1 has hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, and franconium, I think that is. So, yeah, that'll be good for our notes. So we know that in groups, these are going to be the elements in the group. And in periods, these are going to be the elements in that period. Okay, periods go across. So hopefully that's helpful. You could do period 3 if you wanted, right? Period 3, you could name those. I might ask you, what element is in period 3, group 13, right? Period 3, group 13. So you would say, okay, there's period 3. I'm going to go across until I get to group 13, and the answer would be aluminum. You might be asked that on a test. What element is in group 13 and has 3 energy levels? Group 13 and 3 energy levels, right? It would be aluminum. So you might get a question like that. All right, that's a little bit of what you need to know about groups and periods. Thank you.